Okay, folks, it is finally here. We are looking at the ISOM number 2 pre-order campaign page, and I will be going over the various elements of the campaign page. Just a reminder, there is a poll open on my community tab. Not going to tell you what it is just yet, but I do want you to go over there and vote when you get a chance. So let's take a look. Let's dive in and see what we can see. The first thing, of course, is the fact that we've got the ISOM 2 official trailer video. If you haven't seen that, definitely give it a watch. It is a good video. It does help to sell the book. It may be the only thing that helps sell the book on this page. I got to tell you, I will cover each element one at a time, but I have rarely seen such a lackluster effort at producing a number 2 pre-order campaign page. Now we know from here we've got 3 different covers for ISOM number 2, and we'll look at each of those in turn. And as far as the pre-order campaign goals, you'll recall that my prediction for ISOM number 2 is that it will make $3.2 million. I think it will sell roughly the same number of books, with the exception of, whoever buys the bundle that's got. I'm talking about individual copies of ISOM number 2. I think it will sell roughly the same number of copies as with number 1. Anybody who has lost interest already, I think, will be shored up by new readers, so I think there won't be a lot of slippage there. And I think there will be kind of a halfway thing on merchandise. People tend not to be like huge on merchandise like the second or third time around, so at least that's my guess. I don't base that on any real experience, so I don't think that the merchandise is necessarily going to sell as well as it did the first time, and that's why I'm saying it's only going to pull in $3.2 million instead of 3.7 or higher. All right, so let's take a look at the short story component. I won't read through it word for word because I think that'd just probably bore you to death the way it bored me. Reason being that if you have read ISOM number 1, nothing in either the short story or the section about the ill-advised arc tells you what's coming up. I mean, there's like maybe 3 words when it talks about Avery navigates a world of danger and intrigue, and he isn't alone. Okay, that's pretty much the only clue that you're giving us that maybe there are other heroes coming back from retirement, because it says a Texas rancher forced to put his hero suit back on, and he isn't alone. Okay, maybe some other heroes are coming out of retirement, or maybe they're just coming out of the shadows and having been operating all along. That's kind of interesting. And then what else have we got? The target audience for ISOM is early teens and up due to comic violence, no explicit gore, sexuality, or language in the book. Language, there is a little bit of language. I mean, there is damn and hell. I mean, those are basically, that's as strong as it gets in ISOM number 1. But, if you're basically saying there's no explicit language in the book, I'm thinking who are you are the parents you're marketing to going to be disappointed when they find out there actually are a couple of minor swear words? Let's see, what do we got going on? All right, so the story so far, and we get the story so far. I mean, this is basically a recap of ISOM number 1 that doesn't really tell us much more than we could have learned from the synopsis of ISOM number 1 that we encountered in the first campaign page. This gives us practically no new information. The only time we get into the new stuff is he's saying, well, what are the consequences of Avery's choices? So he's going to face consequences for his choices. Who will come to his aid? Oh, look, a new hero. That's it. That is all we get. We don't get jack crap from anything else. Oh, my God. Give us something. Hell, just recap the video, for God's sakes. Have somebody, do like one of those reading things for the blind so that they can enjoy the videos along with you, and throw that in as your advertising for issue number 2. You're giving us nothing. You're really just basically saying, hey, if you liked issue number 1, buy issue number 2. Okay, well, if I remember correctly, the reviews on issue number 1 are a tad mixed. So maybe you want to throw something in here where people who had not wanted to take the chance on ISOM number one, and who may have been, thrown aside by all the negative criticism they've seen about ISOM number one. Maybe you want to give something that's going to draw them in and say, well, maybe, given what I read about number two here, I might actually take a chance on this. I might actually try to give this a good fair shake, even despite the negative criticism that's been out there, and despite the price tag, despite just the fact that I don't know if I want to take a chance on a 3-issue series that's eventually going to cost me, $150 in the long run. Throw something in here. Throw me a bone, people. All right, what about the interiors? Maybe the interiors will grab us. Well, first we've got some office life with Darren. And I say Darren because even though he's listed as Darren Fontano, it won't be until ISOM number 2 that we actually learn his last name. So we got Darren having some conversations with some people, and then he basically gives a come here signal to one of his guys. That's probably not going to go well. And that's it on this page, so kind of snooze fest there. This second page, though, very good choice. I'm liking the fact that we're being exposed to a larger world. I don't know who the hell these desert yeti are, but that's I don't know if they're like walrus people or what. But at least they're interesting. And it shows us that there is, like a major threat looming on the horizon, or maybe this is a scene from ISOM's past. I don't know. Will there be captioning on this page? Hard to say. When I saw the picture of Santuan and ISOM about to collide on the issue 1 campaign page, I was thinking, oh, I wonder what the caption's going to be on this. And it turns out there were none. So can't really say what's going to happen on this, but I hope it's not a quiet page because Lucy, you got some explaining to do. Who are these fanged walrus people? Then the last page is a slice in the life. I mean, that doesn't really build to anything. Yeah, he's like pulling out the costume. I mean, even just from a cinematic idea, you want to have this page be second and not third. I mean, this is just kind of I'm looking at my underwear drawer. I mean, Jesus. I don't know what to tell you. That's not the right page to put on a preview, or at least don't put it in this particular section. Maybe put it before this page. This page actually has some excitement to it. But come on, 112 damn pages in the book, and you can't find 3 exciting pages to put in a preview that aren't either going to spoil your story completely or just are going to give away too many clues. I really. All right, let's go over the actual things you can buy in the ISOM number 2 campaign. Well, first you've got ISOM number 2 cover A. And I have got mixed feelings about this cover. And let me tell you why. First of all, it is a flashback type cover. And you even get this idea of why did ISOM quit? What is it that drove him to retire from the superhero business? Now, the way that this cover is structured, you've got the Rippaverse Code of Ethics acting as though it's the Comics Code Authority. And then you've got find out why did ISOM quit. You've got featuring the first appearances of name with no corresponding like art or anything in the names to kind of give you a clue of who these people are. So he's just basically throwing names at you as if that alone is going to be exciting. I mean, unless these people appeared in the document cards, which again I'm not paying $100 for. I don't know who these people are, and what kind of images is this supposed to invoke in us? And what the hell kinds of names are these? It's like you basically went to an AI and said, just make up shit. That was the whole prompt. Why are we seeing names like Gooding and Chadron? I mean, these are people who, you walked into the temple instead of the synagogue by mistake. What the hell is this? And And then you've got ISOM fighting a big dude. Isn't that exactly what he did in the last issue? He fought a big guy, and now he's fighting another big guy. So, I'm not sure why I'm supposed to be excited about this issue yet. I mean, yeah, I'd like to find out why ISOM quit. What I want to know is why I shouldn't quit. So let's go down. And just the fact that he's doing it in a flashback sort of style. And this is the main cover of the book. This is cover A. This is the Cliff Richards cover. Why does it look like this? Because you think that for a serious comic endeavor, you would wait a few issues before you started getting cutesy poo. I mean, this really reminds me of the end of the Captain Marvel movie when they started playing No Doubt's Just a Girl during the fight scene and just basically laughing at us, saying, "Ah ha ha, we got your money. You know, we don't really care how this movie ends." On one hand, I like the retro imagery. It takes me back to when Marvel did their flashback thing and they did the -1 issues. But this isn't a -1 issue. This is the number 2 issue of your book, and it's suddenly we're not serious anymore. We're being cutesy poo about what we're putting on the cover, and flashing back to a style that it's confusing is what it is. I mean, not confusing in the sense that I don't understand the cover or I don't understand the motif. I mean, confusing in the sense that if you're trying to put forward your comic book as a serious endeavor, why are you already resorting to gimmick stuff like this? That doesn't make any sense to me at all. So, let's take a look at the other covers then, see if they're any better. Of course, we're looking at the standard $35 charge, but that's fine because that is for 112 pages to be exactly the same price as it was before is a bonus. And now we get an alternate cover from the great Ethan Van Sciver. Let's look at this bad boy. All right, and look at those God almighty neck muscles. What in the hell is going on here? Let me see if I can focus on that some more. Okay, this is not a bad picture with 2 exceptions. Number 1, we don't see much of a expression on their faces like they're in any sort of danger whatsoever, and that to me dulls the scene. You know, if you're just going to show them looking stoic as if, yeah, we got this, nothing to see here, par for the course, then that's not going to ramp up the excitement level of this cover. They're obviously surrounded by a whole bunch of these insectoid alien what the hells they are. I like the design of these creatures, but it doesn't look like they're particularly troubled by the fact that they're in the midst of all these people. So all these enemies. There's something to be said for facial expressions that say we're in trouble here. That would be nice. That would be nice to see. The other thing that's driving me a little bit insane are these neck muscles. Jesus, Mary and Joseph, look at that. It looks like he's wearing a muscle suit. It looks like you've got Avery. Here's the real Avery, and then here's the muscle suit he's wearing. Did you borrow muscles from Rob Liefeld to draw this? Because holy crap, that is a serious neck ridge behind him. I keep thinking, did he grab that from somebody at the airport? Was somebody sleeping on the plane and thought, I need to add that to my suit? Wow. Yeah, that is really the only thing that's kind of throwing me off art-wise is just that strip of muscle right behind him. It's almost like you want to peel it off and throw it in a pan and fry it up. There's just too much bacon on his neck. God. So yeah, I mean, tone down the physique a little. Avery kind of came off as a little bit on the slimmer side than this. I do not remember those neck ridges that probably kill a platoon on. All right, let's go over to cover C. And let me immediately show you why I'm not going to be buying cover C. Chimama! Wow, $100 price tag for cover C. Why? Oh, I guess it's because it's a foil cover. This is probably, oh, okay. So this is going to be the cover, the Shane Davis cover. I had to look up who it was because I did not recognize that logo for anything. Um, you got a Shane Davis cover, and this is foil for the first printing of it. And so that's why it must have the $100 price tag on it, because otherwise it's just going to be this. And now knowing that, I'm kind of torn between whether I'm going to want a cover C or a cover B. Because on one hand, I like Ethan Van Sciver's artwork for the most part, but damn, that muscle strip is just not receding from my memory anytime soon. And also just the sheer look of boredom on their faces. So I may go ahead and go with this, or maybe I don't know what the hell I'll do. We'll find out when the time comes. Let's see. So yeah, this is Shane Davis doing a bursting through a wall photo. It's good detail. There's not a lot going on in it, and if you were trying to figure out anything about what happens in the book from here, good luck. You won't find anything. And that to me is a huge problem with comics these days. Is like even their later issues. I mean, number one issue, a cover like this is kind of excusable. Number two, show what's happening in the freaking book. It's like give people a reason to buy it other than look, new character. They used to bother the hell out of me back in the day when the Ultimate Universe came out, and all they did was like feature a character on the cover each time, or they just feature Spider-Man in different poses. And yeah, people still bought it, but still, it was like, God, you're boring the hell out of me. You're not showing anything that's going on in the book. If I were a new reader trying to come in, it's like, okay, it's Ultimate Spider-Man, and there's Spider-Man. Why should I buy this? They did the same thing with Iron Man when they were doing the Iron Man Extremis saga. One of the most impactful Iron Man sagas there ever was the Extremis saga. And they showed 5 pictures of Iron Man being Iron Man, and that's it. And I'm like, how do you do that? How do you just basically turn off all of the long-standing readers who are begging you to show some sign of life that says you want this, you actually want to buy this? And same thing's going on here. It's like, give us something that's actually going on in the book. All right. All right. So what else do they have? I mean, we were promised some pretty exciting stuff for this campaign, and did we get it? I'm not entirely sure that we did, because we got a new shirt called Catch Street, and kudos to Eric July for expanding my vocabulary between Catch the Street and You on One, or You're on One. Those were 2 things I actually had to look up on Urban Dictionary because I had no idea what those meant. But I like that. I like having my vocabulary expanded. So Catch the Street, which means there's going to be a fight, and You're on One, which means you're crazy. Those were good ones to know. I'll keep those in mind. You got a Bloodruth shirt, so obviously she's a new character that has been introduced here, and you got a Bloodruth poster, and now you got those Document archives. Yeah, you can buy it, but damn, $100 for cards that are going to give you information that you will be learning in the comic books eventually. So why? $30 cap, and now we get into the bundles. Now I am impressed by the fact that these bundles are actually cheap, compared to the prices where you would be buying these items separately. That impresses me, because I know on Ethan Van Sciver's page, I even did a video about this called "Do You Even Discount, Bro?" Because on Ethan Van Sciver's page, you look at it, it's like a movie food marquee. You'll look at the popcorn and the chicken wings and the Coke sold in one group, and it's the same damn price as if you were to buy all those items separately. And all of Ethan Van Sciver's stuff was exactly like that. If you're buying 2 copies of the comic, you're paying for 2 copies of the comic. There were no bundle prices on that thing. Here, there are bundle prices. I'm impressed that he went that route, and I think maybe that's, maybe he thought he needed to give, that kind of incentive going on. But here you can get cover A and cover B for $63. That's $7 off of the cover price. You got an A, B, and C package for $155. Still not getting at that price. And then you're getting your shirt and hat and two cover bundle. Was the one that almost interested me because you've got the Ethan Van Sciver cover with Sydney Bloodruth on there. You've got the Bloodruth shirt, but it's got a poster thrown in, and I could give two shits about posters. So, yeah, if there was just a shirt and a book bundle, I might get that, but I'm still not really sure. And you got a shirt bundle, a shirt pack, and you got more bundle prices, merch prices, hat bundles. And then the most impressive thing is the catch-up pack, because this is where you have a choice of cover A and cover B on ISOM number 2, combined with an ISOM number 1 cover C at a discounted price. This is probably one of the best things he's got, one of the best items he's got on the campaign page, because yeah, you definitely want readers to be able to get in on ISOM number 1 and ISOM number 2 at the same time if they missed it before. If they're interested now, this is what you ought to get. So don't miss this. Don't just, look and go to the store and buy a copy of number 1 and then come to the campaign page and buy a copy of number 2 and not realize that these catch-up packs are sitting right there. That is awesome. I mean, that at least, I have to say kudos. I wasn't really expecting that. I wasn't really expecting any kinds of discounts. I do think that that's a good idea, and I wish other comic skaters would pick up on that. So, what is my overall estimation? I'm kind of falling asleep, seriously, because really these pictures, 2 out of these 3 pictures don't sell the book. This doesn't sell the book. This does, and this doesn't. I mean, I can't imagine why these were picked as preview pages. And then, of course, there's no lettered previews, which I think is a major fault of these campaign pages. You should at least have one lettered page. Show us what your writing is like, because somebody's going to look at that and say, it's like I said a long time ago, when I saw A League of Extraordinary Gentlemen on an airplane and I didn't buy the headphones, I thought that was a pretty awesome movie. And then I heard the dialogue after I got home and started watching it for myself. I was like, this is crap. You want to be able to show people, here is what I can do in the writing field, not just in the art field, because, that's, the art's only half the product, at best. And then there's nothing in these synopses that basically add anything to the interest. You have to pretty much rely on the ISOM 2 official trailer. And that's pretty much it. So, what do we have? Can I go ahead and refresh that? Is that going to screw up my video, or can I? 537,000, and it's actually been sitting there for a while, which is kind of worrisome. I would have thought that it would have increased to about 600,000 by now, but maybe that'll. I'm looking at my time. When I'm recording this, and it's probably going to be in traffic or something. So, yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes. I mean, he's got 75 days, so I think that was as long as the previous campaign was, and they managed to rack up 3.7 million there. But boy, I really wish there was more on this page that sold the book. I really do. I'd like to be a lot more excited about this than I am. And, when I do get a copy, I'm probably going to wait and get a copy of Shane Davis's non-foil cover C, because I think that's probably the best cover out of the 3, even though it doesn't really show what's going on in the book. I just can't handle the retro style of the first cover, and then the over-musculatured board looks of the Ethan Van Sciver cover. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go for those. So cover C is probably it for me. And other than that, yeah, I don't have anything more to say on this. I'll be keeping my eye on it. I'll definitely be attending the live stream today that Eric July is holding. You remember I mentioned the community poll. I may as well go ahead and tell you, you're going to want to get in on this if you haven't voted yet. The vote is, do you want to see me tear up a copy of ISOM number 1 on a live stream? Yeah, and I don't mean tear up like criticize it. I mean like really tear it up. So go check out my latest video short. That's going to explain more. And then go vote in the community poll. Right now, it's split even. I think the last it was 50-50. There were as many people who want to see me rip up a copy of ISOM #1 on a live stream as who want me to just leave it alone and save that. So that's pretty interesting. I did not expect it to be this even. I thought for sure that either ISOM fans or ISOM haters were just going to flood that and lopside it one way or the other. So we'll see how it goes, but definitely get your vote in on that. I know you're going to want to see what happens either way. So that is going to be it for me. Thank you for watching, and hopefully they will make some updates to this campaign page to make it more exciting because, damn, it needs work. Mike Partika, thanks again. Please do subscribe, like if you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you later.